What up, fellas?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we are so back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for being here, or if you're listening along later, I really do appreciate it. It's been a little bit, you guys. I'm not going to spend a lot of time sort of discussing where I've been. Let's just say I've been busy. Let's just say life has been happening, but it's been a good kind of busy. Few bumps in the road here and there, but life is good. We are good. We are so back. And actions speak louder than words, ladies and gentlemen. But I promise you, more content is on the way. And just like Matt Ishbia promised all of us, I promise you the Phoenix Suns will win championships. I can't even say that with a straight face anymore. But you're going to hear me say that a lot. So welcome, everybody. We are going to be pretty much just catching up on the latest Phoenix Suns news. And as you guys have already seen in the chat and on my social media, submit your questions, submit your topics that you would like me to talk about. I already have a few in the chat. I already have some that were sent to my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, by the way. And while we're kind of waiting for those questions to roll in, I do have some topics to talk about. But one reason I haven't really gone live much or done many videos or pumped out much content is because besides trade rumors and besides a lot of speculation and besides some lawsuits, there hasn't really been much Phoenix Suns news besides the promotion of, I can't even remember Brian Gregory. I can't even remember our new GM's name, Brian Gregory. That's really been about it. There still is no head coach at the time of this recording. And it's just been rumors and speculation and blah, 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 and off-season stuff. It happens. And I know I'm Suns geek. I know I'm supposed to stay on top of the latest Phoenix Suns news and all of that, but I'm like, I don't want to just sit there and make a bunch of like shows and rumors and content about trade rumors that probably won't happen. You know what I mean? Now, with all that being said, though, Ivan does have a question that I am going to answer about a trade rumor, but you get my point. I'm not going to sit there and make every single video and every single live show about this Kevin Durant trade rumor is happening. And then next week, this Kevin Durant trade rumor is happening. Does that make sense? I don't know. What's up, everybody? So, Ivan, thank you for your question. I'll make sure to get to it. We have Abraham in here. Appreciate you being here. Gambino, King J-Rock. Appreciate you being here. Thank you guys for everybody. Shout out to my brother Chris who's watching Starships of Greatness. Check out his channel. By the way, my brother and I and a bunch of my friends might be going to Phoenix Comic-Con this year. So if you guys are in Phoenix Comic-Con, I will be there. So come say hello if you see me. Red Arrow, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well, bro. Yeah, we are so back, Abraham. We are so back. All right, guys. So again, I will be getting to your questions. I'm already highlighting some of them. So please, right now, submit your questions. I mean, we're going to put it on the banner right here. Q&A, ask me anything. This is your show, you guys. This is really your show. Like, yeah, I have some stuff I'm going to talk about, but this is really your show. Also, let me know how we're looking and sounding. I'm using a new computer, a new laptop, which my brother, who's in the chat right now, actually gave me. So shout out to him, my dad, for giving me this. Also, one more thing. Let me know what you guys are drinking in the chat. I'm just sticking with the little Coca-Cola tonight. So before we get started, I'm going to crack this bad boy open. Let me know what you guys are eating or drinking in the chat. And with that being said, cheers. Delicious. Need a little bit of caffeine to get me through the show. All right, guys. So nothing really crazy has gone on in terms of Phoenix Suns news. And I know I'm kind of late to this, but I figured I would start the show with this. I've made a couple YouTube shorts about it. But again, at the time of this recording, there has been no Phoenix Suns news. Except for the Phoenix Suns are going through their coaching interviews and coaching process, you know, the first round of interviews, second round of the interviews. It's like the NBA playoffs. Like there's rounds of interviews and you know, finalists and all that stuff. So I believe it was Chris Haynes who had this report. Suns coaching update, as Chris Haynes details. The 8-man group consists of Mavericks assistant Sean Sweeney, Phoenix Suns assistant David Fizdale, is that how you say it? Fizdale? Pelicans assistant James Borrego, who I'm a big fan of. I really like him as a coach. Cavaliers assistant Johnny Bryant and Jordan Ott. Nets assistant Steve Hetzel, is that how you say it? And Timberwolves assistant Micah Nori and Thunder assistant David Bliss. But Jake Fisher, who I once had on this channel, did report that Miami Heat assistant, who's been with them for 11, 12 years now, former player, by the way, Miami Heat assistant Chris Quinn also advanced to the next round per NBA insider Jake Fisher from the Stein Line report. So first off, sort of my takeaways here, and I did read this in an article. I believe it was on Arizona Sports. I believe I read this, but among all these finalists, David Fizdale and James Borrego are the only coaches on there that have actual NBA head coaching experience. All these coaches have been assistant coaches for a long time, but these are the guys that actually have head coaching experiences on their resume. I also read this too. Quote, the Suns brass is hoping their next coach can, quote, build a program from scratch, according to Chris Haynes, who says the team is emphasizing discipline. Let me repeat that. Discipline, accountability, and philosophical alignment with the majority owner, Matt Ishbia, and the front office. Phoenix is also prioritizing coaching candidates with defensive backgrounds. Didn't we have a coach who was a defensive-minded coach? What was his name again? Oh, yeah, Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel, I'm so sorry. So many of us owe you an apology. I just wonder hindsight's 2020, but I wonder what would have happened if we would have just hung on to you for one more season, Frank Vogel. I hope you're enjoying your money and apparently your consulting job with the Dallas Mavericks, I believe. How's everybody doing tonight, man? You guys doing good? So yeah, that's pretty much the Suns sort of a coaching update, if you will. Now, I did receive a question, and I guess we'll just kind of jump into it. Follow me on Instagram, by the way. Just search Suns Geek and you'll find me. But I did receive a few questions. I don't know if you guys can see here, but I got a few questions for you. Shout out to my guy, Charles, who sent me a few questions, and we'll start with one. And he simply asks, who do you want as the next Phoenix Suns head coach? And I've received that question a few times, whether it's through Instagram or a text message or just people I'm talking to. And I'm gonna be real with you guys. I have no clue. I really don't. Now, if you've listened to some of my live shows and my videos, I have talked a lot about Chris Quinn. I really like Chris Quinn. I've mentioned that before. I kind of figured he would at least be in the second round of, interviews and coaching progress and all that. Former player, obviously. Now, if I read correctly, I don't think he's actually won a championship as a coach, but I think he's at least been to the finals, or, in terms of coaching, he's been in some big games. And not only that, he's been the assistant coach to one of the greatest coaches currently in our league, and some can maybe make the argument of all time, Eric Spoelstra. You know what I mean? Eric Spoelstra is an incredible coach, and he's been an assistant there for so long. So he's kind of been my, I guess I'd be my pick, if you will. But I don't know, you guys, because you guys are going to hear me say this a lot. And I'm sorry if this is a spoiler for questions that you guys have for me. I don't know what players the Phoenix Suns are going to be targeting. I don't know what kind of coach we're going to be getting, because again, sort of like I read you, the Phoenix Suns are trying, when I was reading that Chris Haynes quote, the Phoenix Suns are trying to have more of an identity. And I just want to make sure I'm reading this correctly again. Quote, building the program from scratch. And the team is going to emphasize discipline, accountability, and philosophical alignment with majority owner Matt Ishbia and the Suns front office, and getting a coach with a defensive background. So I don't know, you guys. Chris Quinn, I really like him, but I like James Borrego. He was a good coach for a while, and some of these coaches have great resumes. David Fizdale's been with us since what? We had Frank Vogel. I'm just saying there's some really good coaches out there, but maybe the Phoenix Suns are just looking for somebody else, man. I will say this, though, and I'm going to sound like a complete biased homer. Spoiler alert, welcome to Suns Geek. I'm a biased Phoenix Suns fan. I'm a homer. But just like they're doing with Brian Gregory, whoever we hire, I feel like a good chunk of Suns fans, a good percentage, I can't talk, a good percentage of Suns fans are going to be kind of underwhelmed. They're going to react negatively to whoever we are going to hire. But just like I said with our new GM, Brian Gregory, please give this coach a chance. Please give Brian Gregory, our new GM, a chance. More thoughts on Brian Gregory. I can't talk. More thoughts on our GM in a little bit. Cheers. So that's sort of the, I guess kind of latest, update on the Suns coaching search. It wouldn't surprise me if they had interviews today. It wouldn't surprise me if they had interviews yesterday, and it won't surprise me if they have interviews tomorrow and after Memorial Day weekend. And I will say, I'm glad that the Phoenix Suns are really taking their time with this. And as Gambo said a while ago, this could potentially, and I think he even said it like yesterday or the day before, this could potentially lead into June. And I'm fine with that, you guys. I really am, because the Phoenix Suns, they have to nail this coaching hire. This has to be a great hire, whether a chunk of Suns fans are underwhelmed with it or whether they're negative or positive about it. They have to nail this hire. This coach not only has to survive the season and not get fired, but this coach has to kind of be our coach for the foreseeable future. And this coach is going to have a lot of pressure on him, not only to not get fired after one season, but to not only get us back to the playoffs, but get us back to championship contention. Now, obviously, a head coach can only do so much because you have to build a roster around the head coach. But again, I've been saying this since Mike Budenholzer got fired. I would be so nervous and on pins and needles if I was applying for the head coaching job of the Suns, because the Suns now have the reputation that if you don't make the playoffs or you get swept in the first round of the playoffs, that you're probably going to get fired. Hopefully that's not the case anymore. Hopefully this coach can actually stick around. Hopefully we can actually get to know this coach, on a personal level. Kind of like how we did with Monty Williams, for example, because he was here for 4-5 seasons, something like that. So, yeah, that's sort of the coaching thing. Now, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. So what we're going to do, you guys, is I'm going to get to a couple questions first, and then we'll kind of just go back and forth. Like, we'll answer some questions, and then we'll get to some other, quote, Suns news, and just keep answering questions. So here we go. Let's start with my first one. Now, I know that I said I wasn't going to, do a whole bunch of live shows and a bunch of content off trade rumors, but because this is a Q&A Ask Me Anything live show, I'm going to do that. My point being was just that I didn't want to spend the last few weeks, the last month, just making a bunch of trade rumor videos and content. I just find that boring. There's plenty of that on YouTube and stuff. So I don't know. Anyways, but let's start here. Ivan asks a question. Now remember, this is my opinion, Ivan. Everybody has a different opinion here. But he says, what are your thoughts on a potential trade for Kevin Durant with the Detroit Pistons? They could offer Asar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and Isaiah Stewart. Let me take a sip of my Coke before I answer that. Personal opinion here. No trade is impossible. We learned that after Luka got traded. Remember that, you guys. No trade is impossible. Heck, Nikola Jokic could get traded this offseason. Extremely unlikely, but Nikola Jokic could get traded because Luka got traded before the trade deadline. This trade is not impossible, but I find it's extremely unlikely. Now, Ivan also follows his question up with my perspective, I can't talk. My perspective is that we acquire a promising young talent with similar potential to Mikal Bridges and Asar Thompson. Following that, we could explore another trade opportunity involving Tobias Harris and Grayson Allen. Again, not an impossible trade, but I just think this is extremely unlikely. One, because the Detroit Pistons just had an incredible season. Incredible. And they are truly building something great. And I'm actually just, as a basketball fan in general, I'm actually just genuinely happy for them. Because obviously the season before, when former Suns coach Monty Williams was their head coach, they were the laughing stock of the NBA. They lost 28, 29 games in a row. And not only this season did they double their win total, but they made the playoffs. I think they got bounced in the first round, but still they made the playoffs. They are a hard-nosed Detroit Pistons basketball team. Now, again, this trade is not impossible. And to an extent, I see the vision. I really do. Especially if the Suns are looking for what I've been saying, hard-nosed, grinded out, disciplined, tough defensive players. You got two of them in Asar Thompson and Isaiah Stewart. And Tobias Harris sort of had kind of a bounce back year from what I saw anyways. He played well for the Pistons, man. He's a bucket. But I just think this is extremely unlikely. I don't think the Pistons would be willing to, first off, my biggest thing is the Asar Thompson thing. Now, I don't know if he's going to be as good as his brother, but I don't think they would want to give up on a young talent like that. Sure, Tobias Harris and Isaiah Stewart could be gone in the future, but I just don't see it, especially for Kevin Durant. And then looking at the Kevin Durant side of things, do you really think Kevin Durant would get traded to Detroit? I don't see that happening. Again, not impossible. I see your vision. I'm not trying to be negative or anything. I don't see it. Okay. Abraham says, my biggest question is, what's the number one priority for us in the draft? A future point guard, center, forward, like Ryan Dunn, in my opinion, is for us to find a point guard. I thought we had a point guard this year. His name's Tyus Jones. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Tyus Jones, before I answer your question, he was recently at the, I think, Phoenix Mercury game. And then he was at Kyler Murray's softball charity thing or whatever. And I think he was talking with PHNX Sports. And I think he said anything's on the table or something like that. He is an unrestricted free agent to my knowledge. Just saying, he's not gone yet, Suns fans. I don't know. But to answer your question, I think, that's a great question. And this is why I have some thoughts on Brian Gregory, our new GM, later. I wish I could kind of answer this, but I will just say this. A lot of the draft, and it kind of just depends on the team and what pick they have, but a lot of the draft really is, are you drafting off best available talent, or are you drafting off best fit for your team, or are you just drafting off, hey, we're kind of taking a risk here, but it could be a high reward? So it's an excellent question, Abraham. If the Phoenix Suns, Matt Ishbia, Brian Gregory, Suns front office, etc., are really sort of trying to build the identity, I don't think they're really going to be drafting off point guard, center, forward. I think they're honestly just going to draft whoever fits this quote new Suns identity. You know what I mean? It could be a power forward. It could be a shooting guard. I don't know. Like whoever fits the Suns identity, I think that's who they are going to draft. If they even keep the picks. I mean, guys, despite the narrative that I have been shutting down for a long time now, we actually have draft picks, you guys. I made a YouTube short about it a while ago. We have the 29th pick and like the 50-something pick in this year's draft. So if your friends who are Suns fans or basketball fans are like, haha, you guys have no picks, be like, no, we do actually. We have 2 picks in this year's draft. And we ended up with 2 last year. So that was Ryan Dunn and Oso Iguodala. So yeah. So great question. I would just say I think the Suns are going to just find whatever player they think fits their identity. And am I down for another sort of like youth movement player? Because I really don't believe Ryan Dunn and Oso Iguodala are going anywhere. I really don't. Not yet anyways. So can we add one more piece in this draft? Sure thing. And then maybe take a flyer on a 2nd round pick. Why not? Oso Iguodala was a 2nd round pick. Just saying. Great question, Abraham. And yes, we are so back, y'all. I mean, again, you guys, actions speak louder than words, but my mouse is like frozen. I'm really going to, why isn't my mouse working? I'm really going to, work hard to pump out more content. So yeah, really excited about that. All right, let's see. Abraham says water plus electrolytes. It was hot in Phoenix tonight. Yeah. You guys know me. I just moved back to the Valley a few months ago. Super thankful to be back in the Valley. But yeah, it was super hot today, you guys. So stay hydrated, y'all. Drink your electrolytes, drink your water, and yeah, stay hydrated, y'all. It's a real thing. Let's see here. Let's get Dennis Schroeder and Steven Adams and a real OF. Move Beal and let Durant play. I think you might say power forward and get a real power forward. Move Beal and let Durant play the 3. Again, not impossible, but I've liked Steven Adams for years, but I don't know. That'd be cool if Steven Adams was on the team. Gerald Green jersey. Yes, I got my Gerald Green jersey back there. One of my all-time, not only Phoenix Suns ever, but just one of my all-time favorite NBA players ever. I hope I'm not butchering this name, but Travoli TV says, do you want the Knicks to win it all because of Mikal Bridges and Cameron Payne? To be honest, I forgot Cameron Payne was even on the Knicks. I'm kind of glad you asked this because I was going to talk about it on this show. Now, you guys know me. I'm a Phoenix Suns fan, obviously. I love the Phoenix Suns. Obviously, I want the Phoenix Suns to win the championship every single year, but that's not going to happen. Even though Matt Ishbia said, and I quote, I promise you, we will win championships. The Phoenix Suns will win championships. But anyways, the Phoenix Suns obviously did not make the playoffs in embarrassing fashion. It was terrible. So if you're asking me, like, who do I want to win the championship? To be honest, you guys, I'm kind of rooting for like all 4 teams. And again, I'm a Phoenix Suns fan. I know I'm not supposed to be rooting for other teams. But again, if you're asking me, Phoenix Suns aside, who do I want to win the NBA championship? All 4 of them, I would be happy with all 4. The Thunder, who I think just won tonight, the Timberwolves, the Knicks, and the Pacers. Now, here's why. So I'm glad you asked this. Here's why I kind of want New York to win. Obviously, 1, because of Mikal Bridges and Cameron Payne. I mean, we all love Mikal Bridges. I have his jersey t-shirt in my closet. I think I got his bobblehead somewhere back here with my other million bobbleheads and stuff. I love Mikal Bridges, man. He's awesome. And Cam Payne was great too when he was here. And both of them truly do love and loved the Valley when they were here. And they're both great basketball players, especially Mikal Bridges. But if you guys have followed basketball, whether you're a new fan or an OG fan, you know that like basketball and the NBA is better when the Knicks are good. Like when they're in the Eastern Conference Finals, like they are right now. And I've always liked Tom Thibodeau. I actually met him at Summer League like a really long time ago. He's very nice. And I like a lot of their players. I like Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson is one of the best point guards in the league. He's an all-star. They have so many likable players and guys on that team. And I've never been to Madison Square Garden. I don't know if I ever will go there because it probably costs thousands of dollars to get there. But like, it's arguably, if not the greatest NBA arena ever. So that's one reason I want the Knicks to win. And what? They haven't won a championship since the 70s, I think. So they haven't even been to the finals since what, like 99? So that's one reason why I want New York to win. But on the flip side, did you guys see game one in what some are calling like the greatest comeback in basketball history? And believe this or not, we've actually seen some incredible Phoenix Suns comebacks this season and last, if you guys remember. And I've studied the history of the game. There's been countless NBA comebacks, but that was one of the greater ones I've ever seen. And there's actually a stat that I'll have to like pull up real quick that proves that point. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see. Give me a second here, you guys. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, so right here. I'm not going to try to butcher the name who tweeted this, but the tweet kind of went viral. NBA teams were 0. Let me repeat that. NBA teams were 0 and 970. 0 and 970 when down 14 or more points in the final 2 minutes and 50 seconds in the playoffs over the last 27 postseasons. They are now 1 and 970 because of the Indiana Pacers comeback. NBA teams were 0 and 970 when down 14 points or more in the final 250 in the playoffs over the last 27 postseasons, and now they are 1 and 970. That is insane. It was one of the greatest comebacks ever, and it was fun. I remember watching that. I was like, oh my God, dude. Like I couldn't, like Tyrese Halliburton with the choking thing, the ball going like up in the air and just whoosh. And then I don't know if you guys saw this, but like there was 0.2 seconds left on the clock, and Tyrese Halliburton literally just throws the ball to Karl Anthony Towns. And I think by the time he had even caught it and then launched it, it wouldn't have counted anyways. And even if he did and they did count it, which again, they wouldn't have done that because there was 0.2 seconds left on the clock, I think that would have tied the game. So like, I just thought it was savage how he threw it to him. But yeah, one of the greatest comebacks ever. So anyways, without being long-winded, why do I want the Pacers to win? Because they made these all-in moves to get to where they are now. Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, all those other guys they have like on the margins, like Aaron Nesmith, Andrew Nembhard. I could go on, dude. They're well coached. Their front office makes the right moves. They've been building towards this, y'all. Didn't they make the Eastern Conference Finals last year, I think? So, and then, you know, the Thunder are sort of in the same boat. They've been building this for years. They have like 1 million draft picks. Sam Presti is an incredible GM. And here they are. They could potentially be, you're going to hear this on Suns Geek, they could potentially be the NBA's next dynasty. Obviously, they have to win it this year, but like, I don't think they're going anywhere for a very long time because they have so many draft picks, a loaded young core, and they have the new MVP in Shea SGA. So, and then the Timberwolves, kind of the same thing, making some all-in moves. They have a rising star in Anthony Edwards, you know, one of the superstars of the league. A well-made front office, great players. They've been building towards this for years. They literally traded Karl Anthony Towns, and here they are in the Western Conference Finals. So that's why I want all 4 of those teams to win. Okay. Need to sort of take a quick water break. Why did my mouse disconnect, man? If you guys are new to Suns Geek, you know that most live shows, there's always some kind of technical difficulty. Why isn't my mouse working, man? Whatever. Okay, anyways. Maybe this thing like runs on battery. I don't know, man. That's weird. Anyways, what are we talking about? Okay, next question. Let's see. Let me take a sip of my Coke and we'll get to the next question here. I need some water too. Give me a second here, you guys. Ooh, my mic almost fell down. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in, by the way. Whoops. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Joe, like you know what I'm talking about. So Pistons aren't giving up a SAR. Yeah, again, it's not impossible. Like it's really not. But like after the season the Pistons just had, they're not going to risk breaking up that core that is building chemistry and is winning games and winning playoff games just to get Kevin Durant. It's like extremely unlikely. If Kevin Durant was like in his 30s, or I mean, he is in his 30s, but I mean, if he just had turned 30, then yeah, they probably would, but no, they're not doing that. Okay, so Saul asked the next question, and I did receive sort of a similar question. I'm glad you asked this, Saul. I received a similar question earlier. My friend Mary asked sort of the same question. Any thoughts on the new Suns GM hiring? And then Saul asks, "What's up, Brandon? What are your thoughts on our new GM?" And I kind of hinted at this at the start of the show. And again, I'm going to sound like a biased homer here. I don't really have many thoughts because one, it was about a month ago, I think, when we first promoted him. I'm not even going to say we hired him, we promoted him. Because remember, he was like a consultant or something like that, or on the Suns brass in the front office and all that. And, Michigan State ties to Matt Ishbia and all that. I don't have many thoughts because the guy hasn't been able to prove himself yet, it's going to take a while for him to prove himself in general. The NBA draft is still like a month away, you guys. I think it's about a month away. It's June 22nd. And even then, he has free agency and whatever other offseason moves he needs to do. So I know I sound like a biased homer here, but I'm one of the few optimistic, positive Suns fans that are left. Let's give this guy a chance before we criticize him, before we judge him. Give this guy a chance, man. You guys can be negative about the press conference. And yes, I get it. It was not a great press conference. Okay, whatever. Let the guy make some damn moves before we judge him. So I really don't have any thoughts on him. I don't know the guy personally. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he's a brilliant basketball mind, but like until he actually starts making moves, then we can judge him. And I kind of feel bad for the guy too, because even if the Suns have like an A+ draft, I feel like some Suns fans out there are still going to be critical and be like, Brian Gregory should have made this move and traded for this player. Like, come on, guys, give the guy a damn chance. So I'm glad you asked that, Saul and Mary. Thank you. I'm not going to even try to pronounce your name, but say Geek. What type of system do you think we should run? And with that, what are all these coaches' interviews? Who do you think is the right fit? I mean, I kind of tackled this question a little bit. I don't know what kind of system we're going to run because I don't know who's going to be on our roster this upcoming season. This is a great question, but like I got to find out who's going to be playing for the Phoenix Suns for the upcoming 25-26 season before we really answer that. But I guess to kind of answer it, and I know this is a cop-out of an answer, it's going to be guys that are apparently defensive-minded, scrappy, guys that will never give up on a play, players like that, but I don't know who those players are. I thought every NBA player would do that because they're playing in the NBA. Some of these guys are playing for contracts. I don't know. So in like a couple months, I might be able to answer your question because we'll actually have somewhat of a roster by then. I feel a stretch and waiver would hurt the Suns more than help. What are your thoughts on that? Are you talking about Bradley Beal? Because I think that was thrown out like a couple months ago. I don't know. I wish I was smart enough to answer this one, but it's not impossible. Again, Matt Ishbia is a lot richer than we all think. So if he waves and stretches Bradley Beal, it's not impossible. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm rooting for the Thunder. Ironically, they became my second favorite team because of KD, Harden, and Russ. You know what? That's one of the biggest like what ifs I think in recent NBA history is like what if KD, Harden, and Russ stayed together. All of them were, I think, barely entering their prime at that time, if that. Because remember, KD was drafted in what, like 09, 08 or something like that. So could you imagine if they all stayed together, man? They already made the finals once. Like, could you imagine? Whew. Maybe the NBA looks a lot different than it does now. Maybe the Phoenix Suns look a lot different because those three stayed together. So I've seen this one floating around. Would you trade Kevin Durant to Dallas for their number one pick, aka Cooper Flag? Who I've been talking about Cooper Flag for a while, y'all. Like that kid's a stud, man. He's going to be an incredible player, I believe. But would I do it? Probably. But like my thing is Dallas is not going to do that. Especially after just trading Luka, man. They're not going to do that. Maybe if they would have kept Luka and somehow ended up with the number one overall pick, maybe they would. But they're not doing that, man. I think it's more if Dallas would not do that. Would Phoenix do that? Like, let's say Dallas was crazy enough, Nico Harrison was crazy enough and called Phoenix and said, let's just do a swap, KD for the number one overall pick. Let's do it. Probably. Maybe they would do that. Because Cooper Flag is a really good defensive player as well. I think sometimes his defense gets overlooked. But also he's young. He'd be the number one overall pick. He would go along with Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro and like what the Suns are trying to build, that new Suns identity. But yeah, the Dallas is not doing that. Okay. I think I already answered that question. Yeah, I pretty much answered that question with the coach thing. Yeah, I don't know. We got to find a coach first, y'all. Okay, let's see. I know it's not Suns related. Abraham asked this question or says this. I know it's not Suns related, but thoughts on the Mavs getting the number one pick? I 100% believe it was some sort of deal behind cameras. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of my Coke again. Yeah, that's where like I kind of feel bad that I wasn't making as much content as I did. Like I didn't make a video on the Luka trade happening. I really should have. I should have just pulled my phone out that day and recorded, or that night. It was like at midnight, by the way. And I wish I would have made a video on the Mavs getting the number one overall pick and all that. I promise that will change. Actions speak louder than words, but I will stay up to date on crazy things happening in the NBA from here on out. But yeah, I'm glad you asked this, or at least mentioned it. Not asked, but mentioned it. It took me a long time to not just learn, but realize that the NBA draft lottery is 100% rigged. I'm sure Adam Silver and maybe Mark Tatum, who's the deputy commissioner, I'm sure they'll come up with some great PR excuse. I guess you could say BS excuse about why the Mavericks got the number one pick. I'm sure they'll get interviewed soon, and Adam Silver will say something, and he'll either avoid the question or he'll like come up with some great written PR quote about that's why the Mavericks have the number one pick right after trading Luka, blah, blah, blah. But the draft is 100% rigged. I know this is a bad example, but for you OGs on this channel who've been watching me for a long time, remember when the Phoenix Suns, I think maybe won 18 games? No, well, we were in the lottery. We were a bad team. And we got the 6th pick. Now, I know that's a bad example because we ended up trading that pick, which was eventually the 11th pick. That was Cameron Johnson. So it worked in our favor. But the Suns were so god awful, and we got the 6th pick. I have a video on this channel of me reacting to it. It was so bad. The draft is so rigged. The Washington Wizards, man, who traded Bradley Beal to us. The Washington Wizards, who literally, I think, got a new owner. They got like a new GM, new coaches, and all that, new players. They literally tore down their franchise, and they're literally rebuilding it brick by brick by brick. They are rebuilding. They are the definition of a rebuilding team. How do they not get the number 1 pick? How did the Utah Jazz, who have been pretty bad for the last couple seasons, I believe, they lost a ton of games this year. How do they not get the number 1 pick? It is so rigged. It is so rigged. Like, I'm forgetting the draft lottery. I know it's like the Mavericks and Spurs, so I'm going to look this up real quick. Sorry, guys, bear with me here. NBA draft lottery. Oops. I know it's like the Spurs. Let's see. Where's the order? Here we go. Draft order. It's the Mavericks, Spurs, Sixers. Now, the Sixers is fair. Like, I'm glad they actually got the 3rd pick because they had a terrible season. They were plagued by injuries, yada, yada, yada. They were a bad team. So I'm glad they got the 3rd pick. The Hornets got the 4th pick. Like, come on, dude. The Jazz got the 5th. How does Washington get 6? The Pelicans and Nets at 7 and 8 is fine. Raptors it feels like the Raptors like always have the 9th pick or something like that. Houston, by the way, got the 10th pick. That would have been the Phoenix Suns pick if they didn't trade it. So the Suns could have had the 10th pick, by the way. And then the Blazers, Bulls, Hawks, Spurs. So shout out to the Spurs, man. They get 2 lottery picks in the first round. That's pretty cool. But my point being, the Washington Wizards, man. I've talked about the Wizards a lot on this channel, you guys. I like what they're building. I really like their GM, Will Dawkins. I like their GM. I forget his name right now. But I like their GM. I like what they're building. They have some really young, talented players. But how do they get the 6th pick? Come on, NBA. Come on, Adam Silver. Like, and then did you guys see those like graphics going around that was like Anthony Davis was traded and the Pelicans ended up with the number 1 pick and, you know, Kyrie Irving was the number 1. You know, like, remember that? Like, God, like, what are we doing, man? And that's sort of like the quote dark side of the NBA that I don't like. Because again, you guys, it took me so long to realize that the draft lottery is rigged. I used to be excited about the NBA draft. I used to watch it live and get all excited. And this year I completely skipped it. I was like, whatever. It's just like, I'll just check it on Twitter. And of course, my phone blows up. Dallas Mavericks get the number 1 pick. Psh. Sorry if that was a long-winded question to Abraham's kind of comment here, but yeah. Anthony says, get picks to the Nets got for Mikal Bridges. I think you might mean Cameron Johnson, who is on the Nets. Mikal Bridges is on the Knicks, but yeah. Brian says, who's going to be the next head coach? I kind of already answered that earlier. I do not know. Chris Quinn is going to be the next head coach. You heard it here first on Suns Geek. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. David, I don't even know if I want to answer this question, man. I'll let the chat answer this one, you guys. Have we had even one competent head coach since Cotton Fitzsimmons? RIP to the great Cotton Fitzsimmons. Because I can't think of any. Oh, chat, I'm just going to let you guys answer that. I can't. No disrespect, David, but come on, man. What are we doing? Yeah, Abraham says this. I'm so appreciative that the Suns are actually taking their time to make their hires. I'd rather have them take a long take longer than have a rush decision. Exactly. Because we sort of rushed into Mike Budenholzer, didn't we? And now he's getting paid millions of dollars to not coach this team. Please, Matt Ishbia, if you are listening, which I know you're not, but please, Matt Ishbia, I know you have all the money in the world, but please do not waste your money anymore on a coach who is not coaching this team. Please save your money. Please spend that money on a coach who's actually going to be here longer than a season or two. Please. That's all. That's all. Just saying. Let's see. Gambino says Dallas are done doing those crazy stuff. Next year they will be contenders. I definitely think they'll be in the playoffs for sure. Contenders, though, I think that all depends on if Kyrie and Anthony Davis can stay healthy. Because isn't Kyrie going to be out for like a really long time? Like, I don't know. I mean, Cooper Flag could be generational, like they say. And Anthony Davis was actually a lot more healthier than I think people give him credit for. But like, and you know, they have some depth players. They have some good players, like good role players that provide depth and all that. But contenders, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Is that a Coyotes hat you're wearing? I think it's a Tucson Roadrunners hat. I got it for my birthday, which my birthday was about a week ago. So thank you to everybody who wished me a happy birthday, by the way. But yeah, I think it's a Tucson Roadrunners hat. I love this hat, man. Speaking of my birthday, later in the show, I'm going to show you guys a couple things I got, and we're actually going to open something and try it. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Oh, Red Arrow. I see your question. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So let me kind of just wrap up the Phoenix Suns news here. Let me just wrap up the Phoenix Suns news, as I put in quotations news, because it's not really news. There hasn't really been anything going on besides trade rumors and speculation. Kevin Durant's going to get traded here. Kevin Durant should get traded here. Blah, blah, blah. Rumors and speculation. Anyways. Let me just kind of wrap up this Phoenix Suns news, y'all. Okay, let's see. Okay, wait, what's going on? Okay, here we go. This news actually happened today, and it sort of happened yesterday, but there was a little bit. Let me start with the news that actually happened today. Ryan Dunn, and I'm going to go on Suns Twitter and show you guys this. Ryan Dunn won the Dan Marley Hustle Award. And I believe the announcement, at least in years past, I think this came out about the right time. Ryan Dunn, let me just share my screen here. Whoa. My screen looks all crazy right now. Ryan Dunn won the Dan Marley Hustle Award. And in my opinion, this was sort of a... is unanimous the right word? I mean, like... Go watch some Ryan Dunn highlights, y'all. This kid competes not only on defense, but he just hustles out there. Rarely ever, if ever, gives up on a play. Brings that youth, and as you can see in this photo, this graphic, brings that excitement that we really needed this year. As bad as the Phoenix Suns season was this year, Ryan Dunn and Oso Iguodala were like the bright spots. And Ryan Dunn deserves it, man. I'm very happy for him. Again, you guys, I do not believe Ryan Dunn and Oso Iguodala are going anywhere anytime soon. I'm glad he won it. He deserves it. He seems honestly like a genuinely nice guy too. Like, I hope that he is with us for a very long time. And I hope that he continues to work on his game this offseason and comes back even better than, last season. And, speaking of the Dan Marley Hustle Award, I'm kind of glad that the Suns posted this graphic because I sometimes forget about this. These are the Dan Marley Hustle Award winners, I think, since the award came out in 2014. The very first one was Bo Outlaw. You guys were, oh, yes. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. So I missed the graphic. I apologize. Not 2014. 2003 is when when the award came out. I'm so sorry, you guys. Let me retry this. I'm glad the Suns posted this because it shows every single Dan Marley Hustle Award winner since 2003. I guess we'll kind of focus on 2013 and up, but the first one was Bo Outlaw. So shout out to Bo Outlaw, who won the Dan Marley Hustle Award. But you're going to see some other famous names on there, like Sean Marion, Suns Hall of Famer, Raja Bell, my boy Leandro Barbosa, Grant Hill, etc., etc. Maybe Phoenix Suns head coach Jared Dudley, although I don't think he made the cut. PJ Tucker, who won this award 4 times. PJ Tucker, I love PJ Tucker, man. Alan Williams, Big Sauce, Josh Jackson, Mikal Bridges, Javon Carter, Mikal Bridges twice, Josh Okogie, and last season, Grayson Allen. I'm not going to lie, kind of forgot that Grayson Allen won this award last year. But, just thought I would go over those list of names. So you'll see some Suns legends on there, and then some like random players like Sebastian Telfair. You guys remember when Sebastian Telfair was on this team? You guys remember when, again, PJ Tucker won this thing 4 times in a row? Real Phoenix Suns fans remember that, y'all. So yeah, shout out to Ryan Dunn again, the Dan Marley 2025 Dan Marley Hustle Award winner. In all fairness, Saul, Josh, he goes, Josh Jackson, really? In all fairness, now let me see when he did win that award real quick. I do remember Josh Jackson, despite, I know he was a bust and all of that, but like he really did like compete out there. Like he actually did hustle out there like Dan Marley would. Just saying. I know Josh Jackson was a bust and he's out of the league and blah, blah, but come on, let's give him a little credit where credit's due, y'all. Let's see. Just making sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay, let's see. Brian says Dan Marley head coach. Unfortunately, Dan Marley is not going to be coaching this team. That'd be great. I know a lot of people were like, we should hire Steve Nash. But I don't know if you guys knew this, but Steve Nash is, one, doing a podcast with LeBron James. That's true. He's doing the podcast with LeBron James. But 2, he's going to be on the broadcasting team for NBC/Amazon. So no, unfortunately, Steve Nash and Dan Marley will not be coaching this team. That'd be great if they did. I think they both do a great job, and they would probably get us back to contention and hold these players accountable and discipline them, but they're not coaching this team, y'all. Sorry, guys. Oh, yeah, and no disrespect to all the people that are like, Mike D'Antoni should coach this team. Guys, one, Mike D'Antoni, I think, is over the age of 70. And he has not been a head coach, I think, in the last 4 years. I think he was like an assistant in like 2021, something like that. So, no. Sorry, guys. Like, I know it's a great nostalgia thing, but these guys are not coaching the Suns. Sorry, guys. Abraham says, dude, imagine how more scary Ryan Dunn is going to be. Said he's going to work hard on his shooting this offseason. So, yeah, speaking of Ryan Dunn, you guys, this came out, I think, a couple days ago or like yesterday or whatever, but Ryan Dunn was not selected to the all-rookie team. Now, if there was an all-NBA third team, he probably would have gotten in. And I think he did receive a couple of votes, I believe, for like second team and first team and all that. But unfortunately, he did not make the team. I think he definitely deserved it. So I'm glad that he won the Dan Marley Hustle Award. Other players to receive votes who, were on the first team and all that. But, excuse me. Or these are just guys that receive votes. Isaiah Collier from Utah. Kyle Filipowski from Utah, the shit starter, aka Ron Holland, because every time that guy would play the Suns, he would like end up in a fight or a scrap or something. Dalton Connect, who's a bucket for the Lakers. Again, Ryan Dunn, who I think received 9 votes and 1 first team vote. Jared McCain, who almost won Rookie of the Year if he wouldn't have gotten injured. Quentin Post, who's like a 3-point bucket for the Warriors. Jamal Shedd, Tristan De La Silva, Justin Edwards, and Reed Shepherd. So just thought I'd read that. But yeah, the all-rookie team came out, all-rookie second team and all that. Yeah. All right, guys, we'll get to a few more questions and comments, and then we're going to wrap this up. Brian says, Dan Marley, great friend of mine. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I've seen your comment and all that, because you said Dan Marley gave me one of his 1988 Seoul Olympic jerseys. That's cool. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I remember you've shared that in my comment section and in the chat. I appreciate you, and I encourage you to keep sharing that in my videos and in the chats and all that. I'll do my best to read it every time, because that's a great story and great thing to share, man. Sebastian Telfair was supposed to be a street ball legend, or supposed to be a street ball legend. I think he actually was, in terms of like quote street ball. And I think he had a good college or at least high school career from what I remember, but didn't really work out in the NBA, which sucks because I think he was a lottery pick. Saul says, I would like to see Quinn or Nori be the head coach. Definitely possible. And just so you guys know, to my knowledge anyways, because it's really no secret, like you can Google and like look up things. NBA franchises, for the most part, they do give permission to their assistant coaches to interview, even if they're like in the middle of the playoffs. Now, if they were in the finals, they probably like would say, okay, can you like postpone these interviews? But like they do allow them to go and interview. I think they even encourage it. Like, why wouldn't you? It's like promoting an employee who's doing a great job. Like you want to encourage them. So it's, if Micah Nori from the Timberwolves or one of like the Thunder's assistants or whatever is our coach, wouldn't surprise me. And they do allow them to interview during this time. So yeah, so I think I do agree with you. We need young blood at the head coaching spot. I think I agree, man. Like, again, you guys, we just need a coach that will get us back to championship contention, hold these guys accountable, discipline them, make them work their asses off. We just need a great coach, man. Fizdale's possible. I've talked about that before, but I don't know. All right. Let's see. So Red Arrow, I did not forget about your question about movies. We'll talk about that in a minute. Abraham says, we need Suns Geek as the next head coach. That's great, man. I love that. Could you imagine, Suns fans? Could you imagine? That'd be great. All right, guys. Let me get to a couple things I just want to share real quick. I'm sure you guys have seen this if you've been following social media and all of that. Oh, why can't I? Okay, hold on. Give me a second here, you guys. I'm sure you guys saw this by now because this person was, I'm drawing a blank. He was on like one of those, what's that one guy's name? Oh yeah, the Pat McAfee show, or however you pronounce that guy's name. But Tyrese Halliburton from the Pacers did a really cool thing recently. Let me just share my screen. And it wasn't just Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, it was Tyrese Halliburton, but it was like the Pacers organization. The Pacers are going to be flying out this Pacers fan who I think was like at a Knicks game or was a New York fire, or he is a New York firefighter or something like that. As you can see, I'm going to lower the audio, but as you can see here in this video, oh wait, no, the thing didn't pause. He's getting like trash talked and literally trash thrown at him. And his name is Hans Perez, I believe. Tyrese Halliburton is flying out a Pacers fan, Han Perez, to a playoff game after he was hit with trash in New York for wearing his jersey. And apparently he was like a firefighter, or is a firefighter or something. So I saw like a little interview clip. Not only did he get to be on the Pat McAfee show, but he got to talk with Tyrese Halliburton. And Tyrese Halliburton's like, hey, man, Pacers are going to fly you out here for, I think, game 4. You're going to meet the players. You're going to get great. I don't know if he's at courtside, but he's going to get great seats, blah, blah, blah. What a great treat. What a great class act thing for the Pacers to do. Like, that's so cool, guys. Like, come on. Like, I don't know many Knicks fans, so I'm not saying this bad bunch of Knicks fans represents all Knicks fans. But like, come on, like us sports fans in general need to be better than this. Like, that is embarrassing, y'all. I'm so glad somebody got that on camera. I'm glad that the Pacers did that. I think any franchise would do that if they saw this. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be wrong not to. So, again, you guys, let's just be better sports fans. Let's be better NBA fans than what you are seeing here, because that is just embarrassing. Speaking of the Pacers, since we kind of, talked about like the finals and championships and all that, I thought that this was kind of cool. Let me just pull it up here. Give me a second here, you guys. You already know how this works. One-man show. I thought this was cool. After their incredible Game 1 comeback, let me lower this little banner. These are all their comebacks so far in one playoff run. Against the Bucks, against the Cavs, who I still cannot believe lost in the second round. I mean, they were injured, but still. And then the incredible, historic Game 1 comeback against the Knicks. Look at that. That's all in one playoff run. Phoenix Suns management, Phoenix Suns ownership. We need stuff like this. Like, come on, y'all. Like, we need to get back to stuff like this. Not only do we need to get back to the playoffs, but we need to get back to great stuff like this. Again, you guys, don't be surprised if the Pacers win the championship, man. They are that good. I think there's a lot of I know basketball is more than just stats, but I think the Pacers have some incredible numbers that can sort of prove that they could win the championship. Now, I'm still learning how to zoom in on my computer. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Hold on, guys. How do I do this? Here we go. Yeah, let's zoom in a little bit. Can you guys see this okay? There we go. That looks better, right? We are officially going to have, I believe, the 7th new NBA champion, I believe. Because this great tweet right here, defending champs in the playoffs. Most of them lost in the second round, as you can see. The Raptors in 2020, after they won it in 2019, with Kawhi Leonard. Lakers lost in the first round. And the last, 4 or 5 NBA champions have lost in the second round. Obviously the Celtics were the last one losing in the second round. Last one to go further was the Kevin Durant era Warriors. So we're going to have a new NBA champion this season. And I love the comment under it. And it says, shows how difficult going back to back is. Guys, not only is winning a championship difficult, but going back to back in this era of what they call parity, in this extremely talented era, it really is hard to go back to back. I love that comment on the bottom. Shows how difficult going back to back is. Guys, the Celtics were one of my picks to win the championship this year. I thought they were going to do it. The Cavs were dominant this season, but the Celtics had a great year too for the most part. I thought they were going to do it, man. And maybe if Jason Tatum doesn't go down, and maybe if maybe if the Celtics would have won a few more regular season games and kind of not took their feet off the pedal, I don't know, man. But just goes to show how hard winning in the NBA is. I love the NBA, man. I love the NBA. Yes, David, they did win all those games. That's why I showed the graphic. They won all those games that I showed the graphic to. At least I think they did. Anyways. All right, y'all. Let me get to one question that is not Suns related. Let's see. Actually, hold on. We got a couple more here. Let's see. Saul asked a great question here. Brandon, not Suns related. It's kind of Suns related, but are you ready for the Heat again? Great question, man. I've received a couple questions and comments about this because I did just move back to the Valley 5 months ago, for all of you who do not know. I grew up here, lived here for a very long time, had to move to Memphis because life happened, and now I am back. Super thankful and blessed to be back. God is good. Um, I think I'm ready for the heat. Definitely going to be in the pool a lot. Definitely going to be hydrating. So drink your electrolytes, people. Yes, drinking water is very important, but you need your electrolytes. So please drink your electrolytes if you live in Arizona. But yes, I think I'm ready. It's going to get brutal. It was kind of hot today. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Again, probably won't be outside much besides when I'm swimming, but I think so. I think I'm ready. It's going to be tough though. So again, if I start doing a lot more live shows and content, it's probably because I'm glued to my computer because it's a million trillion degrees outside. Jess says Grayson in the 52nd pick for Daniel Gafford. Who says no? I see the vision. I like Daniel Gafford. I think that's a little too much for Daniel Gafford. I think the Suns would say no. I don't see that happening. And remember, guys, just saying, I know I sound like a biased homer here. Grayson Allen's still under contract. The Suns don't have to trade him. I'm just saying. I think the Suns would say no on that. That's just me, though. I could be wrong. I don't know. Get to a few more questions and comments, and we're gonna get out of here because there's one from Red Arrow that I haven't answered yet. Let's see. What did King Nacho say? Hold on. Let's see. Beal must go. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. So let me just. I forgot about my Instagram questions. I'm glad that King Nacho said that. Is the draft lottery rigged? My friend Charles asked. Yes, we already talked about that. Who do you want as next head coach? Already talked about that. How do we get rid? How do we honestly get rid of Bradley Beal? I have no clue. But I give it, I think, a 1% chance that he will play for the Phoenix Suns this season. I don't know how they're going to do it. They're going to have to really do some convincing. They're going to obviously have to figure out the financials of the deal. I don't know, but I doubt he plays for the Phoenix Suns again because clearly it has been a disaster. And he's a nice guy. He's a godly man. He's a family man. I get it. Nice guy, nothing personal. But sometimes it just doesn't work out in the NBA. Sometimes it just doesn't work. And I wish you the best, Bradley Beal. But I won't be shocked if somehow he gets traded. I will not be shocked. And I know this question is a little, I'm trying not to laugh here, although I am kind of laughing. How many more lawsuits until a championship? Let me just say this. The recent lawsuit is all allegations. I just want to say that. And Sophie Cunningham, former Mercury player, even had a statement put out about that. And I think even the Phoenix Suns had one too. It's all allegations. I don't know if this is coming from an employee who was like a former employee under disgraced owner, you know who, he shall not be named on this channel. Or if this is an employee from the Matt Ishbia era, I don't know. But I just maybe kind of feel like people just want to keep picking on the Phoenix Suns, especially now that we have a really rich owner. I don't know. And look, I'm not educated enough to really dive into the whole like report and the lawsuit and blah, blah, but from what I'm seeing, it's just a bunch of allegations. I don't know. I kind of feel bad for Sophie Cunningham, man. I really do. Like, not only was she a former Mercury player, but she was on our broadcasting team. I feel bad for her, man. People were like trolling her and like putting out all these tweets and videos. I was like, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing, man? It's all allegations. Yes, it's a bad look. It makes the Phoenix Suns look worse than they are now. But come on, man. Come on, guys. Okay. Although I won't lie, though. This is the immature side of me talking. The question was funny. How many more lawsuits till a championship? Hopefully we can get back to our winning ways and be a contender again and actually win a championship, or as Matt Ishbia says, championships with an S, before we get another lawsuit thrown at us. Thank you to everybody that submitted questions. How about we go for like 10 more minutes, y'all? 10 more minutes. And then we'll wrap it up. So while we're waiting, let me see. While we're waiting, I'm going to answer it's not even an NBA question. It's just a great question. Let me take a sip of my Coke. 10 more minutes, y'all. Then we're gonna get out of here. Red Arrow asks, any movies you're looking forward to seeing this summer? Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked this. Not gonna lie, kind of already been slacking on the summer movie season. I've heard that the Thunderbolts, aka New Avengers, is like a really great movie. I've heard that. Haven't made the time to go see it. I know. I'm sorry. I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. I heard the new Mission Impossible movie's great. I've heard like all those movies in the franchise are great. Can't wait to watch them. Can't wait to see the newest one. There's like so many movies I can't wait for, but the number one movie that I am excited about, and I don't know if you guys can see kind of behind me over here. I don't know if I can turn my computer a little bit. I'm a huge Batman fanboy. That's an understatement. I am super excited for that new Superman movie. Cannot wait. Especially the first trailer, even though I don't think there was a line of dialogue in that first trailer, was amazing. So yeah, I cannot wait. That is my number one movie. But I'm sure there's like 10 other movies that I'm forgetting that I will go see. But speaking of the summer movie, while we're waiting for more questions to flood in, remember, guys, I'm only going to be live for like another 9 minutes or so. So get your questions, comments in right now. Speaking of the summer, you guys, I'm actually just genuinely excited for the summer because besides my Phoenix Suns content and NBA content and more live shows that I really am going to work hard on bringing more to you guys, because I've been slacking a little bit. If you missed the start of the show, haven't really made that much content lately because one, there hasn't been much Suns news. And two, I've just kind of been busy, living my life, working at my job and just living my life. But now that we're sort of back into action here, and now that the draft is a month away, and now that we're going to be hiring a coach, I really am going to be doing more live shows, more content. But this summer, and I kind of mentioned this at the start of the show too, I'm going to be going to Comic-Con for 2 days, aka Phoenix Fan Fusion, for 2 days. Maybe I'll go Sunday, probably not likely, but I think I'm going to go for 2 days. I'm going to film some content there. So you'll have a bonus videos on this channel of me at Comic-Con with my friends and stuff. It's going to be a blast. And then, as of right now, I'll actually be going to NBA Summer League too. Only for a couple days, but I'm going to be going. So you'll get, videos, live shows, etc. Can't wait. And then I might just film random stuff here and there. I really want to do a better job of not only pumping out more content, I want to do a better job of doing more Q&A live shows like this. And I want to get guests on. I want to get other content creators on. And heck, I want to get some of you guys on. We'll do a random quote call-in show. And you guys can come on and give your thoughts and talk Suns and all that. So super excited for the summer. And again, you guys, actions speak louder than words, but I'm done being lazy. More content on the way, especially once we actually hire a coach, especially once the draft rolls around, then we'll have actual stuff to talk about. Because remember, guys, the finals are early June? Nothing's going to happen until after the finals are done. And even then, excuse me, even then, I don't expect a Suns trade before the draft, unless it's a small one. Yeah, thank you for still tuning in, Red Arrow. And great question, by the way, about the movies. He says, I've been to Phoenix Fan Fusion. It's fantastic. I can't wait to go back, man. It's been 5 years for me. I think the last time I went was in 2019. I don't think they had one obviously in 2020, but I think they had one from like 2021 to 24, and then obviously this year. So I cannot wait, man. I'm gonna go. Some of my friends are gonna be there. I think my brother's gonna be there too. I'm gonna film some stuff. It's gonna be great. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. So again, if you guys are there and you see me, please do not hesitate. Please come up and say hello. Also, speaking of that, I'm nobody famous, but I do want to give a shout out. One of my followers and supporters was kind enough. I was at Zips the other day with my sister and a friend of mine, and he saw me and he recognized me and he came up and shook my hand and said hello, and then he put it on his Instagram story. That was awesome. Couldn't believe it, man. That made my whole day. So shout out to you, man. Really appreciate that. So again, you guys, if you see me around Phoenix, Arizona and stuff, please do not hesitate to come say hello. I really appreciate it. And I'd love to meet you. Again, I'm nobody famous, but just saying. Saul says, are you going to attend more D-backs games? The first D-backs game that I went to, I had an absolute blast. Ooh, and I can show you guys something here in a minute that I got there that day. Actually, a couple things, actually. Yeah, I hope so. I don't know when I'll be going, but I hope to go to some more games because they're an absolute blast. And ever since they invented the pitch clock, games are a lot faster. That game that I went to, like, dude, that game flew by so fast, man. I have a small video from that game on my channel. You guys can go check that out. All right, guys, before we get out of here, I'm going to do a little bit of a taste test on something. And then I'm going to show you guys a couple things, and then we're going to wrap the show up. So get your questions in now. Oh, Justin, I appreciate you, man. I think you're actually tuning in right now. Yes, this was the guy that saw me. You're the man. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. That means more to me than you'll ever realize, man. So thank you for doing that, dude. I appreciate you. And you know what, Justin? I'm glad you're here, man, because he DM'd me and he was like, hey, man, like, thank you for being like a voice to the Phoenix Suns fans out there. And I'm like, I even told him, I'm like, I want to do a better job of like having you guys really be one of the voices of the Phoenix Suns. Like, I want you guys to ask your questions and give your opinions. Even if I disagree with you, I want you guys to voice your opinions and your frustrations and your comments and concerns. That's my goal for this summer. I genuinely mean that, you guys. Like, I want you guys, I want to do more of these Q&A live shows. I want you guys to voice your opinion on the Phoenix Suns. Appreciate you, Justin. Red Arrow, thank you for the great questions, man. I appreciate you. He says, well, man, got to fly. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Appreciate you, Red Arrow. No, David, it's just, well, I mean, it's kind of a short video, but it's not like a YouTube short. It's on my channel. Jess asked a great question here. What made you spring for the Gerald Green jersey? I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I don't really know why I do it either. But I just kind of like throwing up a random jersey back there. Like at one point I had a Dragan Bender jersey up there. I don't have a huge jersey collection. I don't even have a great jersey collection, but like I like to just throw a random jersey up there. I think I'm going to kind of keep that trend going. Maybe I'll throw up like a random t-shirt up there. I don't know. It's just fun. And again, Gerald Green's like one of my all-time favorite players, dude. Like I love that. I love that guy, man. Hey, Stefan, appreciate you being here, man. He says, good morning from Serbia. What's up, Sons Geek? What's up, man? So what we're going to do now, you guys, is I'm going to show you guys a couple things, quick taste tests of something, and then we're going to wrap it up. All right, guys, let's do this. First off, let me grab something real quick. You guys can actually check out sort of my room here for a second. Okay. I got this not the other day, like a month ago or so at the D-backs game. They were giving this jersey out. Yeah. Let me lower this banner real quick. Yeah, this is the jersey that I got. It's got the little patch on the side there. Ooh, that's a bad angle, but whatever. I like this jersey. I'm not going to lie, I haven't worn it yet, but I like it. It was free if you went to the game that day, so I'm glad I got it. It's got the Casino Arizona thing in there. And then I also got, Give me a second here, you guys. I'm dropping stuff. Sorry, guys, my bad. First-time viewers are probably like, what the heck is this guy doing? I got this at the game. It was actually an impulse buy. This hat was like $50. I don't care. It was an impulse buy. I bought it. I love it. I know it's a crazy wild hat, but I love all the different the D-backs logos and all that. Yeah, I bought that. And then figured I'd buy this too. A badass pin that comes with it. 2001 World Series. I think I might add this to that D-backs hat or a D-backs hat because I just think it looks cool. And then I got this for my birthday, Tucson Roadrunners hat. And then you guys know me, I'm a Child's Play fan. Got this for my birthday, a Good Guys hat. Haven't worn it yet, but what's cool about it is you can actually flip it like this, and it has the Good Guys logo like that, and then the Good Guys tag. I mean, I'll probably mainly be wearing it like this. But yeah, I got that for my birthday. So that's just some stuff I wanted to show you guys. But before we get out of here, can you guys still hear me? Before we get out of here, believe this or not, I actually tried crumble cookies for the first time. I had never tried crumble cookies before. They had like one location when I lived in Memphis, but like I never went there. And I actually was given this at work the other day, and it was delicious. I think a lot of like crumble cookies eaters, customers, it's not the greatest cookie I've ever had, but it's not like the best, not the worst either. I thought it was pretty good. It's a little rich, and that's somebody who has like a sweet tooth, but it's pretty good. Just thought I'd share that real quick. But this little taste test that I wanted to do. My guy Thunderstash Gaming, who by the way just hit 100K subscribers on his gaming channel. So big shout out to my guy Thunderstash Gaming. He is just killing it with his gaming content, killing it with the Nintendo Switch. I can't talk. Nintendo Switch 2 content and so much other great content. Reviews video games, incredible channel, incredible guy, one of my best friends. He had a birthday in May. I was at his birthday party. It was an absolute blast. And at his party, he had these. And I was like, dude, can I take one of these home, please? I was like, I will film a video of me trying these out. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put my microphone down, and we're going to just crack these bad boys open and try them out. Arizona Fruit Snacks, Sour Fruit Snacks Watermelon. Now, I think on the website, they show where they sell these in Arizona, and I think all over the United States, they show where they sell them. They show where they sell them. I can't talk. So yeah, we're going to try these, you guys. Let's do it. I meant to film this like on my iPhone for like better quality, but whatever. We're doing this now. So let's just do it. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to crack these open. Actually, you know what? Give me a second here, you guys. Speaking of the iPhone, we're just going to like film this. We're just going to do this live. Screw it. Hey guys, so I'm actually live on YouTube right now. Hopefully you guys can see that. Live on YouTube right now. But we're going to try these Arizona Sour Fruit Snacks that I got at my guy Thunderstash Gaming's birthday party. So I'm going to put this down real quick, and we're going to do sort of a live reaction while I'm live on YouTube. So here we go. Cracking these bad boys open. Here's what they look like. This is crazy, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing. But here we go. Cracking these open. Drum roll, please. Oh, they smell actually pretty good. I'm not the biggest sour eater, but here's what they look like for the live stream viewers. You guys can see that. Here's what they look like. Hopefully you guys can see that. Camera can focus. And here we go, guys. 1, 2, 3. A little rubbery. I don't even know if that's a good way to put it. No, not bad. Not too sour. They're really not that sour. I like them. Not bad. Not bad, you guys. If I gave it a rating out of a scale from 10, like 1 to 10, 7.5 out of 10. Not bad. Not bad. Thanks for watching, guys. I literally just filmed that on my phone, you guys. That was great. That's what you're going to get on Sons Geek, you guys. This is the kind of content that you're going to get on Sons Geek. So please subscribe. Once I'm done finishing my snacks, we'll wrap things up, you guys. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. It's a Sweet Hats Geek, all three. Sorry, guys. I'm chewing my snacks. Sorry, guys. My bad. Kicks Collector 101 says, you collect shoes too, man. I do, but over the last few years, I've kind of stopped because it really is an expensive habit. I actually know some pretty hardcore shoe collectors. I don't know how you guys do it, man. Like, it is an expensive habit, you guys. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of shoes, but like, you know, I'm not really like a shoe collector. I kind of feel like I'm more of like a hat collector. You know, that's what I lately have been spending my money on. Yeah, Saul says that was the Geno 4-homer game. Yeah, that was a great game to be at, man. I couldn't believe it. I have a 2023 NL Champions shirt, says David. Yeah, I wish I would have bought that merchandise when we went to the World Series, man. All right, guys, let's see. Saul says crumble cookies are too sweet for me. Yeah, they were pretty rich, man. Saul says, what day is your birthday, Brandon? My son and I are May babies as well. That's awesome, man. I don't know if your birthday has passed or if it's coming up. A happy birthday to you and your son. Mine's May 12th. Yeah, mine was 10 days ago, guys. I had a blast, by the way. Went out on the Friday, which was the 9th. Went out with some of my boys. Had a few drinks. It was great. Just enjoyed the weekend, man. Celebrated the weekend. Was in the pool and all that. It was a blast, man. It kind of made me feel not kind of. I felt truly blessed on my birthday. I felt blessed to be alive. Not bad for free or not bad. Not bad. I don't know what I was saying, guys. I don't know. All right, guys. Well, I think that's pretty much it. We're going to wrap this up. I promise you guys, actions speak louder than words, but this was a lot of fun. I think we should do this more. I genuinely want you guys to voice your voice to the Phoenix Suns community more often. Even if we don't agree, you guys should be the voice of the Phoenix Suns, and I'm going to do my best to let you guys voice that opinion. Respectfully, of course. You know, I'm not going to let it get out of control. It's going to be very structured, but more Q&A live shows, more kind of call-in shows, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, just get ready for the content, you guys. And again, you're going to get crazy content like you're going to get crazy content like you just saw, where I'm going to like film a video while I'm live on YouTube. That's what you're going to get on Sons Geek. You're going to get me like standing up and showing you guys some crazy stuff that I got. Maybe we'll do more little live taste tests and stuff. So get ready for the content, you guys. It's going to be an incredible summer. God is good. Just remember that. God is good. And I'm truly blessed, truly thankful to be back in the Valley. And life is good, you guys. I'm going to keep working hard to keep it that way so that I can bring you guys the best Phoenix Suns content possible. No more slacking, you guys. We're really going to kick it into gear, and the content, get ready for the content. So please subscribe, you guys. Please subscribe. Please crush that like button. Share the show. I know there's lots of great content and great Suns podcasts and all that. Share the show. Crush that like button. And again, if you see me in public, I'm nobody famous. Please come say hello. We'll take a picture together, especially if we're at Comic-Con. I'll put you like in the vlog and all that. So, all right, guys. I love y'all. I'm out of here. Thank you to everybody that submitted a question. Stay safe out there, you guys. Be kind to people. Love people. and let's change the world for the best, y'all. Let's change the world. Let's be kind. Let's love people. And you guys are all amazing. And as Quantum Queso Dip, I love that, says Hulk smash the like button. Yes, Quantum Queso Quip. That's funny. Hulk smash the like button. Saul says have a great pod. Have a great holiday weekend. You as well, man. Thank you, David. Great stream. See you later, Geek. Yes, I love you guys. You guys are all amazing. God bless you guys. Peace out. And remember, guys, win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life. I am not embarrassed to be a Phoenix Suns fan. I love you guys. Love y'all. God bless. Peace out. And go Suns.
What up, fellas? Yes, sir.
What's up, son?